Lizzie, good evening. Thank you for joining. It's a pleasure to have you. All right, good evening, viewers out there. It's a pleasure to have you being part of tonight's program, People's Parliament. It is my hope that you will be part of this conversation as we'll look out, as we take a consideration across the national trending stories, starting with the 2027 fever that is already in the air, as well as the climate that the declaration of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has brought about across the nation. And of course, we'll be taking a look at 2027 as it concerns His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi and COPDEM position regarding PO's declaration. Thank you for being part of tonight's deliberation. I remain your host, Mr. Ako Christian Oche, otherwise known as Due Process. We are here to have an elaborate discussion focusing on political issues, economic issues, as well as trending stories across the globe, particularly as it concerns the Nigerian people. So permit me to reel out the topic for tonight. Number one, 2027, commentaries on the imminent fall of Tinubu-led government, which is the APC-led government. We are seeing an imminent fall of the government come 2027. And number two, the ADC declaration. COPDEM movement summons emergency meeting to have a national discussion around His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi's declaration in joining the ADC. That will be happening tonight. And of course, we are looking at the Israeli Prime Minister, who had a very crucial meeting with the United States President Donald Trump, in a roundtable where he affirmed his commitment towards ending global terrorism in any part of the world where there is genocide against Christian population, in any part of the world where there is reported cases of terrorism. He has affirmed the Israeli government readiness and willingness to eliminate all terrorist kingpin across the globe. That's a huge commitment, and he, of course, was very emphatical where he mentioned the Nigerian state that the terrorism and genocide that happened in Nigeria must end. So he has become a global partner with President Donald Trump in seeing to religious freedom. You understand, religious freedom has occupied the front banner of President Donald Trump's promise to the American people that he will fight against all forms of genocide. He will fight against terrorism and ensure that there is freedom of religion that he has advocated for and that he has seen to be carrying out systematically. You will recall that he commanded an airstrike against terrorist hideouts in Nigeria, particularly in Sokoto State and Zamfara, where there are various degrees of airstrikes against terrorist enclaves in the northwestern part of the country, Sokoto State to be precise, where a handful number of terrorists who gathered for their meeting were eliminated. And of course, the trending video to that effect, where members of the community where the terrorists were eliminated came out making a trending video appreciating President Donald Trump for his intervention in ensuring that those terrorists were actually eliminated. They lamented how their women were raped, their children, of course, were killed, and even their girl children were object of molestation. They were raped and some were kidnapped, some were taken into sex slave in their respective terrorist camps. So they appreciate the president's intervention so swiftly, so smart, and so sweet that eliminated all the terrorists in their, as they gathered to carry out their terrorist activity. They were all eliminated. And of course, COPDEM hails Mr. Peter Obi's official move to the ADC. COPDEM, you understand, is the first on the table, the coalition table, where ADC was sold out to the Nigerian masses as the bride for all, a bride for the masses to rescue Nigeria. And this saw the national attention, of course, persons across different tribes, different religions came together to be part of the ADC coalition. And of course, political bigwigs like His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, the former governor of Kaduna State, Rotimi Amechi of Rivers State, Senator David Mark of Benue State, as well as other prominent speakers, including former governor of Ekiti State, Osun State rather, Rauf Aregbesola, who incidentally even become the secretary of the ADC coalition. So these are prominent political figures that have made huge impact in the past, and we believe that they are coming on board will bring about the ultimate victory come 2027. So having said that, COPDEM has assured His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi that they will be mobilizing their over 5 million membership bills for his emergence as the ADC flag bearer. He's not mistaken. COPDEM has done it in the past, and we are going to do it again. So that was the assurance coming from COPDEM. Of course, there was a press conference live in Plateau, in Jos, Plateau State, where the COPDEM National Chairman, Prince Wampan Jr., addressed the press, informing them about the preparedness of COPDEM to actually ensure the victory of His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi. In case you don't know, COPDEM, having entered the coalition from the onset, have our members spread across the states, across all the FGAs, and even across the wards. COPDEM members are spread across the national structure of the ADC. And for COPDEM to have pitched a tent to the and believe in the ticket of Mr. Peter Obi is as good as done. We are looking forward to that. And we also expect that the party will read the national mood and ensure that they do the right thing by arriving at the consensus that reflects the will of the generality of Nigerian people. So if they do that, 2027 will be the walkover. So having said that, I'll be looking at taking a commentary on the imminent fall of Tinubu-led APC government. The political landscape in Nigeria is poised by seismic shifts as we approach the 2027 presidential election. After securing a controversial victory in 2023, Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the All Progressive Congress, otherwise known as the APC, find themselves in a precarious position. Despite holding power, of course, the indications suggest that the APC grip on the presidency is beginning to fray, with multiple factors pointing towards an inevitable fall in 2027. One, what are the factors that point to the fact that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is approaching his imminent defeat or fall, as the case may be? Number one, internal fractures within the APC. Of course, the APC is not doing well, despite attracting different defectors from the PDP and from the Labour Party, as well as other political parties, where governors are just, cross-carpeting into the APC. But there is an imminent, there is fractures in the APC, because just like a vehicle, right, that is overloaded, such vehicle is bound to capsize. And that's the destiny of the APC. APC currently is overloaded. There will be no decorum when there is overloading. There will be no strategic implementation when there is overloading. So they are bound to fall. The APC is plagued with infighting and discontent, which has weakened its unity and strategy. Tinubu's ascension to the presidency was marred by accusations of election manipulation. And these grievances have not gone away. The consensus has been that the election was stolen by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. While he secured the presidency, the disillusionment within his party is palpable. Yes, his party members are also not comfortable with the outcome of the election. Some of them saw a clear rigging, which some actually participated in. While he secured the presidency, the disillusionment within his party is palpable. Many key figures within the APC are growing dissatisfied because their people are not happy with them. With his leadership style, they are dissatisfied with his leadership style. And the state governors who were once loyal to his party have increasingly begun to chart their own courses. State governors that were seen to be loyal in the past are beginning to chart their own individual course. The fragmentation within the APC, especially after the 2023, is likely to result in a divided, inefficient force from 2027, meaning their ego, their muzzle have been deflated. And in that case, they cannot achieve a unified front. There have been multiple defection from the APC. Of course, you understand how far Arego Shola was part of the APC, and he has left, and many others. Economic management and public discontent. The Nigerian economy remains a turmoil, and despite promises to turn things around, the Tinubu administration has faced sharp criticism over its handling of economic issues. Inflation is skyrocketing, of course, and unemployment remains at crisis level. The Naira has continued to downward spiral. The administration bold move, such as the removal of fuel subsidy, has not proven to have any effect positively on the life of the people. Our living costs with little to show for it. The living costs have become very massive and difficult for Nigerian masses to cope, and have been met with public protests. There have been public protests against Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led administration. As Nigeria faces rising living costs with little to show for it, the government failure to deliver on its promises of economic prosperity is the key factor in its downfall. In a country where most citizens are struggling to meet their basic needs, the APC inability to improve livelihood of the Nigerian people will significantly deepen its chances of retaining power. Number three, security crisis. You understand there have been massive security crisis in Nigeria. Before the present administration, of course, it has become worse under the current administration. The president has not seen to be in charge of power, where it takes the intervention of President Donald Trump to eliminate terrorists from their enclaves in Sokoto, northwestern Nigeria. We don't expect such government to earn high score in security. There have been massive outcry against genocide in Nigeria. Of course, all this form basis why the ruling party, led by Bola Tinubu, have no chance, have no pathway to 2027. The security situation in Nigeria has only worsened under the current administration, with insurgents, kidnappings, and violence becoming more rampant, and lately, Christian genocide have become more clearly stated that there is a war against the Christian population in Nigeria, undeclared, but that is just a systematic approach to eliminate the Christian population, which amounts to genocide. So this is another huge setback in both local politics and international politics that have its ripple effects on the possibility of Bola Tinubu retaining power come 2027. There is no pathway towards Tinubu remaining in power come 2027. The failure to decisively tackle the growing insecurity in the country has alienated a significant portion of the electorate, especially in the north and middle belt. This is the big house of terrorism and genocide that is ravaging the country. As the 2027 election approaches, the electorate will demand a leader who can restore peace and security in Nigeria. And the Tinubu's failure to address these challenges will serve as a major liability for the APC to cope with. The youths and opposition mobilization. Perhaps the most critical factor in the 2027 election will be the mobilization of Nigerian youths. The 2023 election saw a powerful youth-driven movement, otherwise known as the COPDEM movement, that challenged the status quo, and notably under the Labour Party and Mr. Peter Obi, which led to a drastic shake of the political status quo in Nigeria, with disconnects growing among young people, Nigerians across board, who have seen little to no improvement in their lives. Their frustration is likely to translate into a massive push against the APC come 2027. Of course, there have been a consensus, a national consensus, that the highest civic responsibility as a Nigerian is to vote against APC from 2027. The youth who are dissatisfied with the APC failure to deliver in education, employment, and economic opportunities will be on a potent force. Their votes are crucial, and the APC failure to address their economic concern will lead to a landslide rejection of Tinubu-led APC administration. The role of the PDP and the potential third parties. The People's Democratic Party, despite its own internal struggles, will likely capitalize on the APC weaknesses. Of course, you could see that there are a number of PDP faithful, Labour Party faithful, they all move into the ADC, given the declaration of His Excellency, Mr. Peter. As a matter of fact, the event that took place in Enugu State, there was a massive collapse. It was an earthquake politically that happened, where the entire southeastern political structures were collapsed into the ADC. You saw APGA collapse their structure into the ADC, Labour parties collapse their structure into the ADC, PDP collapsed their structure into the ADC, all their sitting serving senators and House of Representative members all collapsed their structures into ADC. And of course, the southeastern voters, community of voters, collapsed the structures into ADC, following the leadership of His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi. As a matter of fact, one of the remarkable exercises was the deflection of Abaribe, the long-standing APGA senator in the House, in the Senate, moved from APGA to the ADC, following who? His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi. So that is the effect. That's the movement. When Peter Obi moves, is a huge force. And of course, the entire COPDEM movement, affiliates, support groups, all collapsed into the ADC. As it is, ADC website has been shut down by the massive registration of new registrations that have flooded the website. It's currently under maintenance. So that's the effect of Mr. Peter Obi on anywhere he goes. And Tinubu's age and health is another factor. Nigerians, particularly the younger generation, are tired of recycling the same old guy. Nigerians are looking forward to young, fresh individuals that have not been in Aso Rock to take the helm of affairs. And in this case, he's also pointing out His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi. So while it may seem like a personal issue, Tinubu's age and health will be a major talking point as 2027 approaches. At 71, Tinubu's energy and ability to manage the immense pressure of presidency are likely to come under increasing scrutiny. We understand that the age of 71 was a falsified age. Tinubu is over 80 years old. And of course, I don't see any reasonable Nigerian youth being interested in seeing a president that is over 80 years to rule the country. As a youth, when you are already 30 years, you cannot even serve your fatherland as a core member. So what now gives you the moral justification to advocate for a presidency of over 80 years individual? The answer is no. So age, he has been falling sick, of course. We've been managed to survive. And in that case, a country like Nigeria that needs a very vibrant leader, we cannot afford to play that gamble to allow the likes of Tinubu to continue holding on to power. So his age is already being pointed to as a potential hindrance to his leadership in the face of country's monumental challenges. Public perception of his health, particularly of his condition, visibly deteriorates, could further erode his credibility as a viable candidate for a second term. I already see the possibility of a replacement being arranged for Bola Tinubu because we are not yet in 2027. Where will the energy come from? So verdicts now on having said this, right? Who will win the 2027 presidential election? Looking ahead to 2027, the odds are stacked against the APC and Bola Tinubu. It already have a negative rating in the minds of Nigerian people. So it has a very negative possibility of ever retaining power or winning. The internal disarray within the APC, combined with the mounting economic challenges and insecurity, will lead to a loss of support for the party. In terms of the eventual winner, the likely candidates to rise to power will be Mr. Peter Obi of the Labour Party, who is now in the ADC, or Alhaji Atiku Abubakar of the PDP, who is also now in the ADC. So bottom line, the emergence of Mr. Peter Obi through the ADC tickets will brighten the chances of the opposition to actually wrestle power come 2027. While the political landscape remains fluid, Mr. Peter Obi has emerged as a strong contender. His message of hope, unity, prosperity, youth empowerment, health, economic reform continues to resonate with a significant portion of the electorate, particularly his message against insecurity, terrorism, genocide. All this corroborate the fact that he resonates with the people and he understands the plight of the Nigerian populace. His campaign in 2023 was not just a rejection of status quo, but also a cry for leadership that addresses the real needs of the Nigerian populace. Atiku now, for instance, despite his past failures and age, still holds significant sway within the political machinery of the PDP and indeed the ADC. And his candidacy would present a strong challenge to the APC, especially if the party fails to reconcile the internal divisions by 2027. However, if the APC continues its self-destructive path and fails to regain the trust of the electorate, the 2027 election would mark the end of the APC hold on power. The 2027 election, in all likelihood, a coalition of opposition parties led by His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi or Alhaji Atiku Abubakar could rise to replace Tinubu and the APC, ushering in a new era of leadership in Nigeria. The verdict is clear. The APC imminent fall in 2027 seems almost certain, and the incoming president will likely come from the opposition party, particularly the opposition coalition under the ADC, with a resounding wave of change on the horizon. On this note, I have come to the end of the commentary. Thank you for listening. It is now time for audience participation. You have your hands up. Please kindly unmute and have your contribution. Welcome to People's Parliament.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, good evening and welcome.
Yes, I would like to talk about the recent announcement of His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi about his alliance with the ADC. So now, when we look at the ADC right now, we have three main blocks, which is the Articles block, we have the Obedience block, and we also have the CPC block. So I believe that these are the three powerful blocks when it comes to the ADC coalition. But right now, the Articles block and the Obedience block are one of the most prominent blocks in the coalition. But now the Obedience block is the most, when we talk about the most formidable team, the Obedience block is the most formidable team. But at the same time, so we also need the help of people from the Articles block and people from the CPC block. And also, this is the time of the South. So which makes, so well, if we want to even debate it if we want to debate it according to zoning, this is the turn of the South, and the South should produce the presidency. So I'm not seeing Alhaji Atiku Abubakar in the race. I'm seeing a contest between His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi and Rotimi Amechi. These are the two people I see that will be coming from the South when it comes to the presidency. And it's very obvious that His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi is going to enjoy the support of the articulated camp. That's how I'm seeing it, because that's just the best way we can do it. Because if they give Atiku the ticket, many people from the obedience camp are likely not to support Atiku. And even the statement that the coordinator for the obedience movement made recently on Channels TV, he said that even if even if we did not win the ticket, that we will still remain in ADC, something like that. May I believe it's actually a political statement. Obviously, this is time for politicking, and there are a lot of politics that will be happening. There are a lot of political statements that will be thrown in the air. So me, I just believe that we are in the right path. We are on the right course. All we just need to do now is just to arrange ourselves. We should make sure we position ourselves well. And the APC have started planting in moles. The same way they dislodged the Labour Party, the same way they dislodged the People's Democratic Party, they are also planning the same games currently in the ages. So we need to opt our game. We need to plan ahead. Because whether we like it or not, these people, they are not taking it lightly. They want to turn Nigeria into a one-party state, and we have to be prepared for all this. And I believe we have a lot of time to plan. This is exactly a year. This is exactly a year to the general election. So I believe we can do a lot of things within this period. Thank you, sir. This are just saying some of my submission. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Adeni. Where are you joining us from?
I'm from Kwara State. Though currently in Niger State. I'm currently in Niger State now.
Okay, it's a pleasure.
Sir?
It's a pleasure having you on COPDEM Media.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right. On that note, kindly drop me a DM so that you can be part of Niger State structure.
I'm not living in. I would have been a part of the structure here, but I'm not. I'm running my master's program in F3 seminar. So I just came around because I'm preparing for defense. That's why I just came around. So I might be leaving anytime soon. Yeah, I'm part of this.
Good luck with your test, okay?
Thank you so much, sir. So I'm fully part of the structure in Kwara State.
That is patriotism. You know, we don't have another country.
Yes, sir.
Nigeria is a beautiful country. If we're able to rescue Nigeria, people will not imagine it. We will now realize that we've been suffering it all along. So a new Nigeria is possible. Like you have rightly said, I, for one, I don't see a pathway for Alhaji Atiku Abubakar in the ADC for obvious reasons. Atiku Abubakar has always been on the ballot since 1993. Against MK Abiola in 1993. He contested alongside Olusegun Obasanjo in 1999, where they had 8 years grip of power. And his antecedents do not justify handing over the country to him as a president 30 years after. He has never respected zoning all along. He always contesting. He also contested against Goodluck Jonathan in 2011. He contested, he tried to get the ticket of the APC in 2015. He could not get it. So
yes,
he ended up supporting Muhammadu Buhari with the expectation that Buhari will hand over to him after 4 years. And when that did not happen, he left the APC, he returned back to the PDP. He contested and he lost. In 2023, he contested, he lost. There should be a time for one to say enough is enough and take a bow. So until Atiku realizes this and advise himself, then he will be able to become a celebrity. He will be celebrated across Nigeria for making sacrifice that led to the Rescue Nigeria project. But if he fails to sacrifice, I only see disgrace awaiting him Because even let's go to the north. His own north is where
people like El-Rufai now. Do you know that El-Rufai will still prefer Obi's tickets? Because definitely, if Atiku will be on the ballot this time around, then that means that he is using the is going to use their chances. And El-Rufai is a very intelligent politician. So he will back Obi up to make sure that Obi completes the turn of the South, so that by 2031, it can now go back to the North.
So you guys are not getting the calculation now. He has always been clear about it, that is the turn of the South. He never pretended about it. He's never shown any support for Atiku from day one. He has always been very clear that is the son of the South. But Atiku, being who he is, he never respects zoning formula, right?
No, he's a contestant general.
Born to rule. He's eating deep into his head, and it has affected his perception of possibility and impossibility. He doesn't see impossibility. Born to rule ideology have always overshadowed his mindset that he's going to be the president at all costs. Let's see what happens. At this stage, what is paramount is the Nigerian project. As Mr. P.W. has said, unity and prosperity for Nigerian people. So the Obida movement, they've also called an emergency meeting where they'll be holding a meeting tonight by 8 o'clock to further go into the war room and have a deliberation on the way forward. Now that His Excellency Mr. P.W. has officially joined the ADC. So that is how far we can take, except if there is further contribution or further question in respect to some of the trendy stories that we have discussed.
Okay, and what I want to say now, I want, like, every member of the obedience movement should start picking up their ADC membership card, because
exactly.
I joined. Yes, I joined the party February this year, and that's February last year. And when we were trying to mobilize our people that they should join the party and be a card-carrying member of the ADC, what they kept telling us was that once Atiku joins the party, obviously Atiku will get the ticket. Now, many people, I don't know, many of our people believe that once you have money, that you can easily hijack the primary election. But if we go down to the history, Atiku had money. Atiku was not able to hijack APC. That was in 2014 presidential primary election. So if he could not do such, even in the APC then, with someone like Buhari contesting with him, and it was so, if he couldn't do it as at then, I don't understand how possible it is for him to now hijack the whole structure in it is, except if we are so dull that we don't know what we are doing. But I believe that in this obedient camp, we have a lot of young chaps, we have a lot of intelligent people, we have a lot of politically active people, like people that are people that are vast in knowledge. So I don't believe that, because whether we like it or not, I don't believe that even this ADC, it's Atiku's party. It's actually for P2B, because earlier this year, COPDEM has adopted the party that, okay, this is the party COPDEM is adopting. And obviously, P2B is our candidate. So I don't know. I don't see the possibility of Atiku hijacking it from us. Then also, we must be very, very careful this time around, because Tinubu will do everything possible to plant moles around us. They will do everything possible, because, in fact, and there is now a fact. I was hearing something recently that there is a faction even within the ADC that someone is now rising to say that, okay, is a factional chairman within the ADC, and I'm like, these guys are so dull, because a party that has not had its convention, and another person is already rising up as a factional chairman. I don't get it. Even if you will hijack a party, at least you should even be patient enough to wait for us to have our convention before you can announce that, okay, maybe you are even doing anything fashion and the rest. So we know that this is actually the handwork of APC and Tinubu. And there is another narrative going on again that Peter Obi is going to be the vice presidential candidate to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. That's what the APC era have been circulating on social media these days. Immediately, Mr. Peter Obi declared, social media has been fire. APC eras have just been throwing a lot of tantrum on social media. But the good thing about it is that we are actually ready for them. I believe a lot of obedience in coming days, they are going to activate themselves and we are going to be giving them back to back. When they come on social media and they are throwing some tantrums, we are also going to be giving it back to them. Because I believe that when it comes to politics in this country, nobody has a monopoly of violence. I think I should rest my case. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. You know, what Atiku have is expired money.
Exactly.
Holding this money. You know, in a family where you have a child, one of the sons, he has few thousands in his pocket, and he will come to every occasion, he spend all the last card, impressing people, and he returns back home. That's the situation of Atiku.
Yes.
Compared to His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, Peter Obi may not spend shishi, but Peter Obi has millions of supporters that can even spend their last card to ensure that Peter Obi activity goes through. So in this case, who is more richer?
Peter Obi, of course. Because
So
I
nothing
spent my
about
money.
personal wealth. You know, when you are seen not to be rich or are judged not to be rich, but you have people, wealthy people that can support your cause. Are you not rich?
You are rich.
So it's different for Alhaji Atiku Abubakar that if he doesn't release money, nothing happens for him.
Actually, sir.
Nothing moves until he pays for that thing to move. But here,
Yes.
Mr. Peter, he wakes up every day reading about what obedience are doing for him globally, not even Nigeria alone.
Yes.
So, if I were Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, I would just advise myself and withdraw.
The best thing he can do is to support Obi, and
And
he's going to
support
have the
all the best for
respect.
him. But we are not
In fact, he's
begging.
going to have that respect instead of him contesting. Then, because him contesting is just like him disgracing himself. That's how I just see the whole thing.
And again, look at the situation, the declaration by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He has declared that Christian genocide in any part of the world, genocide or terrorism in any part of the world, will call for immediate attention and action of the Israeli government. Particularly, he was emphatic. He mentioned Nigeria, that no space, no room for terrorists anymore. Any part of the world where there is terrorists, genocide being tolerated, they are coming in. What's your take?
Yes. Well, when it comes to this Christian genocide of 18, we've actually been following it for quite a long time, and it's quite unfortunate that a lot of people, even a lot of so-called activists, are actually trying to play politics with the old stuff, that there is no Christian genocide. Sometimes you start hearing things like, okay, okay, you hear? Okay, I want to, sorry, I want to disconnect my, okay. So when we talk about Christian genocide has actually been long, like it's been on for a very long time. And it's quite unfortunate that a lot of our news outlets are not reporting the right news. You hear things like farmer elders clash that came casualties at both sides. And we know, like those people that are reporting such news, we know their side, and their side is actually confirmed. But the Israeli, they should actually come, and because whether we like it or not, I'm not saying this genocide ending anytime soon. because these people have called for war and they are ready for war. And even the Israel, even when we go through Bible history, there was actually war. And I believe that, okay, since they've called for the war, then let us also follow through with let us also follow them, let us match them. That's what I believe. They should come, because these people will not stop. Okay, I was in Mina on the 31st. That's the crossover service, and I because I stay in GK, I'm currently in Gidan Kwano, that's FUT now, and I went to the state church for the crossover service. That's our state church. And when I got there, they asked us to leave the church, that there has been rumor that some people, that they are targeting churches, that they are coming, and that even aside from that, there were some hoodlums that came to the church, and they already threatened that they are coming to attack. So we had to just inform the headquarters, and we all had to leave the church with immediate effects. And many other churches around, I think it was only one church here, even here in GK, only one church was able to hold their crossover service. Almost all the churches had to close down because of this threat, and because we've been hearing messages of threats around. Okay, look at what happened in some other places, even during that crossover service. Despite Trump's warning, these people are not ready to stop. They will not stop. So it's just better for Trump to just come and rescue us. I believe they are doing a lot of jobs underground. They are doing a lot of surveillance and everything. So me, I believe they should just start launching. That's just the best.
Now that the chief of elimination has joined, Benjamin Netanyahu, he hardly misses targets, and he doesn't record any casualty. He goes straight to the target. So Nigerian terrorist sponsors are just sympathizing with them. They are just living as far as they fail to stop funding terrorism. They are just walking cops, because they will be targeted. They will be targeted. So on this note, I want to thank you all for being part of it. And Madam Lizzie, let me read out your points. Probably you are in a place that will not allow you to speak. According to Madam Lizzie, so my thoughts at this point, there is need for a truce between Mr. Peter Obi and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Well, to break the present Nigerian political zoning politics. My thoughts, Lizzie. Okay, Ambassador Mrs. Thank you for joining. Well noted. We expect His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to have a common ground. The fact is that if the two of them will put the Nigerian people first in their decision making, I believe there will be no need to even prolong the matter. But if it is about self, about ego, then there will be no truth in this matter. However, the leadership of the ADC, they have the window to ensure that they arrive at consensus. And in the event that they fail to arrive at consensus, if it is to prolong to primaries, fine, let's go to primaries. So go to direct primaries.
Exactly.
Nothing indirect, nothing like delegate election. Everybody will type out their words, so that I'll put it to vote from the word. So that we'll see how dollar will buy the entire world, for instance. But when you gather few number of persons in Abuja, maybe in 500 delegates representing all the wards, it becomes easy for you to buy. But in a situation where the entire wards across the federation, let's see how you buy them now. So They have two options. One is either they have arrived at consensus or we go to the polls, primaries.
Let us test our
I'm not scared of
popularity.
Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. I'm not scared of him. And there is no amount of money that he thinks he can buy everybody that can buy everybody. There are people that cannot be bought. And those of us that are standing strong, resisting all forms of buyouts, we ensure that there is a transparent primary election. Very transparent, secret ballot system. And there will be no any form of rigging, because if we cannot get internal party primaries right, who are we to question the general election? So we must do the right thing from the party level. When we do the right thing, if genuinely the election is conducted, and for instance, His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi lost at the primaries, I believe he's a Democrat, we will move on. But in a situation whereby votes are bought with money, we cannot continue and say, okay, let us do it together. There's nothing like doing together. Mr. P.W. has always been very clear about the process that one follows to achieve political power is even far more important than the office itself. So if the process that any leader emerges and achieves political power is not transparent, the entire thing is flawed. So on this ground, we are calling on the APC leadership to ensure that they are able to put their house in order. You have two options. One is either you arrive at consensus, or two, we go to primaries. There are two types of primaries. There are delegate primaries and there are direct primaries. Option one is a no-go area. We are not doing delegate primaries. We are going by option two, direct primaries.
Direct
And it is
primaries.
the party members that will stand. It is what the party members decide, not what a single individual dictates. We all must agree to the primary formation. There will be massive observer for the primaries. So if we are to go into primaries, it will be like general election. If so, if they feel they can handle it, let's go. We are ready. This is what we have signed to rescue Nigeria, and we understand that it's not going to be easy. So we are not begging for tickets. If they like, let them do the right thing. If they are not doing the right thing, we will force their hand to do the right thing. So that is where we draw close.
I want to ask questions about the indirect, that's the direct primaries that we will be doing. So now let's say, for instance, we are going to go to the ward level now. You know, it's going to be polling unit by polling unit. That I think that's is it that we are going to be doing the primary, because I've never seen where we did
No,
a election.
party primaries don't necessarily extend to polling units. It will be ward by ward. Each
Okay, that's
ward,
for the okay.
each ward, there will be collation center where, a voting point in each ward where voting will take place. So all members of the ward, they will assemble in that particular location that is agreed upon to cast their vote. I hope you understand now.
Yes, sir.
So each ward, they have a meeting point where they have been holding their ward meetings. That is where such primaries will take place. That is what we keep saying. Politics is local. Everybody go and pick up your ADC membership card. Be a member
I
from your
have
ward.
in fact, I have my card here. I don't know if you can see it. My
That's a
own
good
membership card
motivation.
is, and this is my membership card.
So everybody pick up your
And
card.
I'm mobilizing people too. I even have cards, not just one self. I have cards here that I'm using to mobilize my people. This
That
is
is
it.
good. That is good. And if you need more card, we'll give to you.
No,
We
we
have
need
more.
more, but let me use this one. Let me mobilize people with this one, but because we are bringing more people into the
Yes.
ATC.
So
And we
please,
are targeting more of virgin politicians, not we are targeting more of virgin politicians,
spend
people
time
that are not
program.
really First time voters.
People that have never been into politics, they are our target audience. So we'll continue to reach out to them and
All
make
right,
them
sir.
to be part of the process. So that'll be all for tonight. I really appreciate your time. I hope you have my contacts. So you can always
Sir, I want to say something. I want to correct one impression that you just made now. Good evening. Sorry, I'm coming late.
You are welcome, Honorable.
All right. Sorry, am I free to talk now?
Yes, you are free to talk.
Okay. So good evening, everybody, and good evening, COPDEM Parliament. I am happy to join this conversation this night. Sorry for coming late. I just came back now. I just want to make correction. Just what you talk about the primaries. I think for the presidential primaries, delegates are being selected from the state level, not from the ward levels. So we are starting from why you are talking about, if we are going for maybe councillorship and then chairman, that is when we go direct from the ward level to the polling unit. But if we are going for presidential, it has to be from the state level. Do you understand? So honestly, with what I'm seeing now, if ADC really want to get a confidence of people, they need to sit down and then come together and say, okay, for instance, if they are giving Pio, our principal, the ticket, the Senate president should come from other place. Let's set up the three arms before we go for the election, so that everybody will now go back and work based on what they know that they can be able to pull out and then get the minds of the people. For instance, if the Senate president is being zoned, okay, we'll say, okay, the Senate president should come from the North Central, isn't it? So they should just go and sit down and look into it critically, holistically, and say, okay, who do we think is going to be our Senate president? There should be a collaboration and agreement between those people. There should not be any influence. Oh, this person want to bring somebody that without this person, sometimes the people will think they are influential. They are the people that are killing us. Let me just tell you my experience that just happened 2023. I know that I am not buoyant, but when they saw me going around for my consultation, a man called me and they told me that let him be frank with me, he has never seen a young person in that area that has the mind and the capacity to do what I promised to do. I've not even been in that position, but he knows how many people I have given them job opportunity. I'm not in that rank where people think, but at least with the little ones that I have occupied a small space, I have given a lot of. Let me tell you, there is a firm that they call me, they need 40 staff. And let me tell you, in 3 days, I was able to raise 43 staff, and they accepted. None of them lost that opportunity. They got this opportunity. And what I did, I picked from the 3 local government because I contested for House of Reps. I picked from those people that I don't know until the day for their graduation. They now, and you do 2 weeks, you collect 80,000 naira. You do 2 weeks, you collect 80,000 naira. That's after the cut of what they are doing. So the day they were graduating from the training, when I went there, the people I saw, I am telling you, is only 4 people I know them one-on-one. But others, I don't even know them. So they started challenging me that this young person, if this person is being given opportunity, he will take the power from them. So they don't want to allow people that have this maybe good heart to come and control them. What our people want is for you to bow down for them, and then you should be begging them for money. When they are trying to make any changes, you now take those people in their side. As I'm talking to you presently, last week they called me. I can forward you the record that they have assigned somebody to come and kill me. I am telling you, the report is with a DSS and police now. Just for one meeting that I called, somebody that don't even know me, he called me that I should gather 100 people. He want to give them rice.
Bulus, are you there? All right, we seem to be losing him, maybe due to network failure. Before you come back, the misconception about the ADC primaries, talking about the direct primaries, where you are farming that it is the selection is from the states. Well, I stand to disagree. There is no way the state will just sit down to decide the fate of the entire state when it comes to primary delegates. There has to be the touch of the grassroots, right? And we'll still go back again to look at the ADC constitution, area that need ratification, amendment will be amended, because we cannot go blindly into an event that is designed to fail. So that will be an assignment for the next episode. We'll take a look at it and make a presentation on that regard. Then, Madam, Mrs., you asked a question regarding ADC membership cards. Let us know which states you are residing so that we can guide you accordingly on how to locate the ADC office in your respective states. So in case, I don't know if you have my contacts, let me put my number out there. You can always private chat so that if you need further information on how to reach your ward, how to link up with your states for the ADC party in your respective states, so that you can do that. I just put out my number and I hope that you got it. So you can reach me the phone number via the chat box. The phone number is there. We'll guide you accordingly in any state of the federation you are resident, so that you pick up your membership card. And don't go alone, go with other women, go with other youths, mobilize them. That is how politicians will respect you. When you go and register alone, they will not regard you. Mobilize women, excuse me, mobilize your neighborhood. Tell them that ADC is the road. That is where the Rescue Nigeria mantra is coming. And that is where His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi is currently. And that they should join forces, all of you mobilize and approach the ADC. Tell them you want to register for membership. Pick up your membership card. Pay whatever due you are asked to pay. The moment you pay the due and pick up membership card, you have equal right as every other person that has been there for over the years. So that's all we can take. COPDEM movement meeting will be starting by 8 o'clock, and all COPDEM movement supporters, fans, followers are advised to join the Zoom meeting. So thank you, and it's a pleasure that you are part of the program from the beginning until this point. Until we come your way again, you have a lovely, lovely night. Bye-bye. I remain your host, Mr. Akko Christian Achel, otherwise known as Due Process. All right, bye-bye.